Hello, Jim. Jimin look up and see his best friend. Big smile appear on Tang's face. Tang, Jimin, finally, our final semester going to start. Sit down. Jimin look at him and smile. Jimin, yeah, now we meet every day. Tang smiled and nodded. Now they all sit down. Jimin, by the way, today you looking very beautiful. Tang, thank you so much. Said and both smiled. Jimin, see your lover entered the classroom. Mm, mm. Tang looked at him and chuckled. Tang, did you want to love him? Tang, never ever. Jimin chuckled. There, Jack come. He said hello. Mm. Tang looked at him and said hello. So Jack smiled. Jack, can I sit beside you? Asked him. Tang eyes widened. He looked at Jimin, who was looking down and chuckled. He looked at Jungkook and Jack and awkwardly smiled because he can't do anything. So Jack sit beside Tang. Jack, you know my uncle told me to the new professor come. Tang, huh? But where is Mr. Kim? Jimin, idiot. He is the in charge of second last semester. Tang awkwardly smiled and nodded. Jack, no, new professor are very strict, but he is very intelligent. Tang nodded. Suddenly their principal come. Everyone stand up and greet him. Principals, so students for first welcome back. Everyone smile and say thanks. Principal, Mr. Jeon, please come. Door opener Jungkook entered the classroom. Everyone see Jungkook personality and shocked. Door open or Jungkook entered the classroom because Jungkook have he wear grey color man suit looking very handsome. Now he stand up straightly. Jungkook, my name is Jan Jungkook. It's the last semester, so study hard. Otherwise, I know how you all study hard. He said, make everyone shocked. Jungkook, is that clear? Mm, Taeyang, everyone, yes sir. Jungkook nodded. So he looked at principal, who's nodded. Principal, all the best students. They sit and left from there. Jungkook, so today is first day. Everyone, yes sir. Jungkook walking between the students and talk to everyone. Jungkook, so every week I give you test and make sure no one skip it. Everyone shocked. Jungkook look at everyone. He see many peoples, but between them there have one boy who attract the attention. But Jungkook control or went to his table. He start the lecture. Sometime later, Jungkook, any question? He asked to everyone. Everyone say no. So no sir, Jungkook is very cool, but Jungkook method is very easy. Last lines you all read by yourself. All took a relief. Jungkook of literally in his lecture. I felt like he is listening. Everyone praised Jimin. Huh? Tang, I mean, whole class is quiet. So it's mean he must be listen Pete's voicing. Tang chuckled, Jimin, you are unbelievable. Tang, thank you so much. Now other one come and start the lecture. Tang entered the house. Today he is very tired. Mrs. Kim, how's your day, my son? Tang, it was good, mom. Mrs. Kim nodded. Mrs. Kim, dear, I want to tell you something. Tang, yes, mom. He drank water and asked to her, Mrs. Kim, I find someone for you. Tiang eyes widened. Tiang, I know, Mom, it's my last semester, but Mrs. Kim, son, he is also professor. Don't worry, he never stop you for completing your study. Tiang, but Mom, Mrs. Kim, Tiang, after your dad, I am very alone, so I want you go your house and stay happy. Tiang looking down, Mrs. Kim, he is very good boy. Tiang look at her and smile. Tiang, Mom, I am ready for this marriage and remember I just want your happiness. Small smile appeared on Mrs. Kim's face. Mrs. Kim, thank you so much, my dear. Tiang, but tell him every night I come here just for meeting you. Mrs. Kim smiled and nodded. Now, Mrs. Kim, okay, I tell him nighttime he is or his family come. Tiang nodded. Mrs. Kim, so be ready on time. Tiang nodded. Mrs. Kim, I have to eat my medicine, so I am going. Tiang, yeah, please go. Mrs. Kim nodded or left from there. Behind Tiang dialing Jimin number. Jimin, what happened? Tiang, tell him everything. Jimin smiled. Jimin, it's okay, Tiang. I believe on auntie. She must be find something good for you. Tiang nodded. Some time later, he also go. Nighttime, Chen family come in Kim house. Mrs. Kim was very happy. They all sit down. Mrs. Kim, wait, I am calling Tian. Mrs. Chen nodded. Jungkook's phone started ringing. Jungkook, excuse me. Mrs. Kim nodded or Jungkook go out of house. Mrs. Kim about to go for calling Tiang, but she said Tiang coming back. Tiang coming, so she smiled. Tiang, hello auntie, my name is Tiang. Mrs. Chen smiled. Mrs. Chen, hello my dear, please come sit. Tiang smiled and sit beside her. Mrs. Chen, Kim, I knew it. Your son is very beautiful, said Meg. Tiang chuckled. Mrs. Chen is very nice person. Tiang looked at her and there, look here and there, but he didn't see anyone. Tiang in mind. Mom told me he also come. Think, but suddenly someone entered the house. Tiang see this boy and shocked. He faces place, but he come to reality and hurriedly stand up. Tiang, hello sir, such and looking down. Jungkook looked at him. Mrs. Chen smiled. Jungkook, we are not in university. Coldly. Tiang nodded or sit down. Now, Mrs. Chen, you both firstly know to each other. Tiang awkwardly smiled. Tiang, he is the in charge of my class. Said and looking down. Jungkook looked at him with cold face. So Mrs. Chen feeling good, so she smiled. Mrs. Chen, it's good. Both go together in university. Tiang eyes widened. Tiang in mind, huh? I'm going to marry him. Think and look at Jungkook, who's already look at him. Tiang smiled. Tiang, if you don't mind, can I ask you something, Auntie? Mrs. Chen, yes, of course, my son. Tiang, you want I marry him? Said and point to Jungkook. Mrs. Chen chuckled. Mrs. Chen, yes, son. Said and smiled. Tiang, Mom, you find him for me? Think and look at Jungkook, who was busy in his phone. So, Mrs. Chen, so after 1 week we held engagement, or after 15 days they both get married. Mrs. Kim smiled. Mrs. Chen, Jungkook, did you have any problem? Jungkook looked at him, who was looking down. Jungkook, no. Mrs. Chen smiled. Mrs. John and you. He awkwardly smiled and looking down. Mrs. Mm, Mrs. Kim smiled. Mrs. John, today I am very happy. Mrs. Kim, me too. Jungkook, mom, I think we should go because I have to prepare my lecture. Coldly, of Jungkook looked like a freezer. Mrs. Jin nodded, both me to each other. Last time Jungkook looked at Tang. I left from there, Mrs. Kim, son, you also must be tired. So go and take some rest. Tang nodded and went to his room. Next day, Tang entered the classroom. Jimin held his hand, make him sit beside him. Jimin, tell me how's your soon-to-be husband? Smirk and asked to him. Tang looked at him. He made fake crying face and hugged Jimin. Jimin shocked. So he hurriedly asked to him, Jimin, what happened, Tang? Everything is okay? Tang, you want to know who is my soon-to-be husband? Jimin nodded. Tang pointed to door. Jimin, huh? Uh, Jimin, huh? You're going to marry with a door? Such and shocked Tang. Of idiot, see who's coming. Jimin, see, it's see or Jungkook enter the classroom. Jimin started laughing. Still have 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, Jungkook start the class. Jimin, you think I'm mad? Said and started laughing. But when he see staying serious face, Jimin really think yes. After 1 week later, we both going to engagement or 1 month later marriage. Jimin shocked. Jimin, huh? Really? Tang nodded. Jimin, how it's possible? I mean, what can't come out? Tang, mom or Auntie Jen, both are childhood best friends. Jimin, Mr. Jen is Sir Mother, right? Tang nodded and Tang made fake crying face and nodded. Jimin again hugged Tang. Jimin, it's okay, everything will be fine. Jungkook, attention everyone. Now they all look at Jungkook. Tang flinched by Jungkook's sudden voice, louder voice. Jungkook, so today lecture is very important. Listen carefully. They all nodded. Tang see every girl or boy eyes struck on Jungkook. Tang not feeling jealous, but still he feeling not good. Both are same conditions, right? Jungkook start the lecture and listen peacefully. Jungkook, any question? Everyone nodded as no. Jungkook, did you all write the assignments? Yes, sir. Jungkook, Kim Taeyang, collect assignments and give me in my cabin. Taeyang Stadium Taeyang, yes, sir, I will. Jungkook left from there behind. One girl come close to Taeyang. Nina, please Taeyang, can I collect these sheets? Please, I want to see sir cabin. Please, please. Taeyang, yeah, of course. She happily said. Uh, she happily started collecting and goes, Jimin, sir call you. Taeyang, Jimin, I don't want to face him. Jimin nodded. Jimin thinks Jungkook must be scolding, but he didn't tell him anything. Uh, Tian, I am sorry, said and looking down, Tian about to ask him what happened, but she said, Nina sir calling you in his cabin. Tian nodded. Jimin was noticed so Tian called Jimin. Nina, what happened? Nina, when I entered the cabin, sir asked me where he's staying, so I tell him he is busy. That's why I come. Or she said, call Tian, or I think he is angry. Jimin showing Nina, I'm sorry. Jimin, no, no, it's okay. Smiled and said, Jungkook is busy. He too doing his work. Suddenly, the door was knocked. Jungkook, yes, come in. Door opened or Tang entered the cabin. He stand in front of him. Tang, yes sir, you call me. Jungkook look at him. Jungkook, why you didn't come my office? Tang looking down. Tang, sir, she want to come. Jungkook hardly hit his hand on the table and stand up. Tang flinch and scared Tang. Jungkook, if someone told you yourself, so what you did, huh? Tang looking down. Jungkook, I'm sorry, sir. Voice was trembling. Jungkook, I don't want your sorry. If I want, I come classroom and scold you in front of everyone. But I call you here, so it's better yourself. So it's better for you change yourself. Tang eyes get teary. Jungkook, is that clear? Tang trembling, but he nodded. This time he realized in reality Jungkook is very strict. Taeyang, looking down, Jungkook, I am asking you something. Taeyang tearly, hurriedly nodded. Jungkook, look at me. Taeyang, look up. Jungkook. Jungkook, see Taeyang teary eyes. Taeyang, if you done, so can I go? Eyes. Hmm. Taeyang didn't attend lectures. He collected his things and left from there. Jimin wanted to stop him, but this time Taeyang doesn't want to ready to listen him, so he stopped. Taeyang entered the room. He threw himself on the or started crying. Mrs. Kim feeling tense, so he knocked the door. Mrs. Kim, Taeyang's son, what happened? Taeyang hurriedly wiped his tears. He said, Taeyang, nothing, Mom, I'm fine. Mrs. Kim, I know you, I know you very well. You're crying. Tell me what happened. Mrs. Kim, Taeyang, I'm feeling very tired. I don't know what I speak. Taeyang, Mom, professors call me. Mrs. Kim, oh, you don't worry. I call Jungkook and tell him, ask his professor who makes my boy cry. Tears started rolling in Taeyang's eyes. Taeyang, no, no, Mom, professors call me because of my mistake. Please don't tell him anything. Said and wipe his tears. He opened the door. Mrs. Kim, cup Taeyang face. Taeyang, please. Mrs. Kim smiled. Mrs. Kim, are you sure? Taeyang, yes, I am. Now go and take some rest. I also have to complete my assignment, otherwise he again scolded me. Mrs. Kim smiled and nodded. She about to go, but she said, Mrs. Kim, Taeyang, Jungkook sent bouquet for you. Taeyang, huh? What? Mrs. Kim, first come this man and give me bouquet, or after 15 minutes later you come. Wait, I give you. Such and left from there behind Tang shocked. Mrs. Kim give him fresh flowers bouquet. अच्छा फिर उसके बाद Tang, but mom, where mentioned Jungkook sent me. Mrs. Kim, son, I know Jungkook sent you this bouquet. Tang looked at her and smiled. Tang, okay, now go and take some rest. She nodded and left from the behind. Tang Star who sent this because Jungkook didn't send him the bouquet, so who sent this bouquet to him? Oh, for next day, Jungkook was busy in his work. Suddenly, door was knocked. Jungkook, yes. This time, he wear glasses, looking very handsome. Door opened or Tang entered the cabin. Jungkook looked at him. Jungkook, yes. Tang, sir, I want to ask you something. Awkwardly said. Jungkook nodded. Tang, don't take me wrong. I just want to ask you something, said Jungkook. Tell me clearly. Tang, last day you sent me bouquet of red roses. Jungkook looked at him with done face. Tang, if you didn't send me, so it's okay, said and about to go, but Jungkook stopped him because Jungkook want to know what's the situation. Jungkook, tell me the situation. Tang look at him. Tang, thanks for asking, sir, but I can handle. I can't लिख दिया. Hmm. Said and left from there. Jungkook dumped think and again doing his work. He didn't tell him anything because it's his matter. Tang feeling tense. Today Jimin didn't come university. There Jack come. Jack, hello. Tang look at him and smile. Jack, so did you like bouquet? Tang shocked. Tang, oh, so you sent me. Jack smiled. Tang, why Jack? Because I to be continue. Bye bye.